Well, good morning from Epcot. We are here today because the construction walls are down and the center part of World Celebration here in Epcot has finally been revealed, including Walt's new statue. The Festival of the Holidays is also going on, so of course we're going to be checking out some foods back in the World Showcase and the Cookie Trail. It's going to be a very exciting day, so let's jump into it. Outside of the unveiling of all of the new construction, Festival of the Holidays is going on back in the World Showcase. So each country has their own different holiday food offerings and drink offerings. So of course we gotta head back there and check out those. But what I wanna show you guys is the little passport that will be in the front of the park. They're gonna be up where the maps for Epcot are. You're gonna wanna pick one of these up because this is going to be your guide to the festival. In the back of your festival passport is where you are going to find the cookie stroll. Now with this, you are going to have to purchase 5 cookies. It can be 5 of the same cookie, 5 different cookies. You can get 2 of one, 3 of another. It doesn't matter as long as you purchase 5 cookies, and they will give you a stamp. After you purchase 5 cookies, you will be able to go and collect your reward tree, and I heard it's pretty magical. While I was in the front this morning, I also picked up the new Epcot map. This was updated to show the new center part of World Showcase, and we've got Figment on the front. Also very similar to Festival of the Arts, there is a lot of musical and entertainment options for this festival, including Santa Clauses from around the world. And you're gonna be able to learn how different countries and different cultures celebrate this holiday season. That is also in your festival passport. You'll be able to check out what each country has and what their offerings are. We are over here by Connections, and as you can see, the walls are officially down. And with the walls coming down, we now have access to the center part of Epcot, so you no longer have to walk all the way around to make it back to the World Showcase. And they've also unveiled a bunch of seating with that. Now, as we've been doing construction updates, I've been showing you guys these center piers for quite some time now. And this is now the new center part of Epcot. Now, this used to be where the very large fountain was, if you've been to Epcot in the past. But we now have all this beautiful greenery and lots of places to sit, which I've worked back here on the back part. So this is going to be closest to World Showcase. They have added lots and lots and lots of seating. So this is going to be on the back side of this new center area of World Celebration. It's actually going to be near where you used to be able to meet Mickey and Minnie and some of their friends. They're still doing construction on that building. That building is not done. Fingers crossed, maybe by the end of the year or sometime in early spring, we'll finally have access and those meet and greets will come back to the front of the park. But this area, there's so many places to sit. It is perfect. And the vibe reminds me a lot of Doctor Strange's garden area in Avengers Campus in Disneyland. Kind of reminds me a lot of that vibe. There's lots of shade. They put some trees in, so as those continue to grow, it's gonna add even more shade. But this is gonna be a good area to come over, grab yourself a snack, and sit and take a break. And I actually, out of the corner of my eye, see Pluto. So even though this building is not done behind me, they're bringing characters out to have little meet and greets in this area, which is awesome. These light structures and just all of this reminds me so much of that area over by the Doctor Strange show in DCA. They also have these little stands around where you can charge your phone with seating nearby. So this is going to be perfect if you do not carry power banks with you. Hello, Pluto! You're so festive! I had to come show you my backpack. It has you on it! Look at you! With your Santa letter. Now, have you sent your letter to Santa? Good. Okay, good. Because we're getting a little late. Christmas is almost here. Just a few days. I mean, it's already Walt's birthday today. So exciting! I know. But it was I just had to come see you. You're all dressed up for Christmas. I had to show you that you're all in my backpack. And we had to celebrate Walt's birthday today. So as you guys saw, we got to meet Pluto and he's all dressed up for Christmas, and I got to show him my backpack. I've seen Pluto a couple times, but I haven't had this backpack on me, so it was exciting to show him. Now, Pluto's meet and greet was not posted in the My Disney Experience app, but the cast member did say he would be coming out throughout the day. So I'm going to assume that over time, more character meet and greets are gonna start popping up in this area. Like Daisy Duck is over to my left. Now her meet and greet is posted in the My Disney Experience app, so I'd say there's probably gonna be more characters that this becomes like their meet and greet spot, but due to the fact that this is opening day, it's probably just not posted in the My Disney Experience app. So we'll be on the watch for that, and if that ever does show up in the My Disney Experience app today, I will make sure to tell you guys. As I'm spending more time in this area, I'm beginning to like it even more. You know, there's a lot of greenery and pretty flowers and shade, and it was just a really cool add-on to Epcot, and I love the fact that there is so much seating. I'm like actually currently standing where there is a bar with a bunch of like bar stools for you to just sit down. You can take a break. This will be a good place if you pack your lunch or you bring snacks into the park with you to come over and take a break. There's also some shady areas if you have kids that fall asleep in strollers. This would be a good place to bring them so mom and dad can take a break. Now I'm hopeful we'll be able to see Walt's statue today. There is a very, very long line today because it is Walt Disney's birthday to see that statue, but we're gonna try to head over there, and maybe throughout the day the line will get a little bit shorter. I also wanna show you guys where Daisy Duck is meeting, because she actually has a meet and greet spot that is posted in the My Disney Experience app. Bye, Daisy. So over here where these like kind of rust looking statue figures are, I'm actually curious. I have a strong feeling these probably light up at night, and they actually remind me a lot of something that would actually be over in Animal Kingdom in the Avatar area. But this is where you're gonna meet Daisy. We just missed her, she was walking off, but this is where you're gonna meet her, and her times are in the My Disney Experience app. It does look like there's a lot of construction still to happen for the Communicore building, which will be like where Mickey and Minnie's meet and greet is, but they have made some progress since we were here last, and you can see they're starting to install this like geometric Spaceship Earth style grid. And I'll show you the other side because they've started to install some of the paneling. So I think this building's gonna look really cool when it's done. I also wanna point out that this is where I met Pluto. There's no signs or anything, and again, it's not in the My Disney Experience app yet. But the cast member did say like over in these little corner areas, and there's a couple of them, that characters will be meeting and greeting. So I'm over across from Creation Shop, and you can see they have added so much seating. There's little benches and cutouts in the concrete. They're gonna be perfect for taking a break. This is a great addition to Epcot. Speaking of Creation Shop, let's head inside because we have new festival merchandise to look at, and some of the merchandise is on sale. So if you're coming to Walt Disney World very soon, be on the lookout for these red signs. Disney is marking down merchandise here in the park, so you don't have to buy it online on sale or go to one of the outlets. They actually have stuff marked down, including all of these Starbucks bling mugs. They are on sale for $20. We also have our first look at 2024 merchandise. This is kind of the colorway they are going with this year, and this one's got Mickey on it with the Starbucks symbol on the other side for $50. It looks like the Disney 100 Lego Duplo castle that literally just came out this year is already on sale for $60. One of the holiday headbands is also on sale for $20. This one actually lights up and comes with like a charging cord for you to charge. And if you see those little like bedazzles on it, those are the lights. So like I said earlier, a new fireworks show starts tonight in Epcot, and we actually have opening day merchandise for it. There's a sweatshirt for $65 that has Luminous on the back and on the front. Also have a new purple t-shirt that says Luminous on the front and has this on the back. So I'm assuming this is gonna be a scene from the show. I'm very excited to see this tonight for $35. You've also got a new car magnet for $15 and a new ornament for $20. Here in Epcot, they also have the Christmas Starbucks bling tumbler that has Mickey Mouse on it. I know this has been selling out at a lot of parks, but as of today, it is here in Epcot for $50. Now, one other thing you can do during Festival of the Holiday is Olaf's Holiday Tradition Expedition. Now, this is something you do have to purchase, but with that, you will receive this map and a bunch of stickers of Olaf, and you have to go throughout the World Showcase and find Olaf and put the right sticker on the right location on the map. Once you finish that, you can come up here to Creations and pick out one of these prizes. So I had to do some looking throughout the shop, but I finally found the Festival of the Holidays merchandise. Now this is the Loungefly, and I like it because embossed in gold, you can see some of the pavilion statues from the World Showcase. And this is, let's see if I can find a price tag here. It is $85. Let's turn around so we can take a look at the back. Now it is a crossbody. The strap is just tucked down inside of the purse, but on the back it continues that gold embossing. This is really pretty. And this top part up here is like a velvet. There are two new pins for this festival. The Mickey head one is $17.99, and then the blue one is $20. There's also a blanket with all these like pom-pom fringe on it that continues like the gold pavilions, just like we've seen on everything else. Really like this print this year because it just kind of looks very classy, but very Christmassy, very Epcot, and it is $50. There is also a fuzzy spirit jersey for this festival. So it's got that like Mickey head, continuing that like theme of gold on the front. But let's flip it over to the back. Now this is $80, and on the back it says Festival of the Holidays, and it has each one of the pavilion's statues on it. This is really cute, and it's that fluffy, fuzzy material they've been using recently. So there is an annual pass holder exclusive for this festival. It is a zip up hoodie. It says Festival of the Holidays on the front, but let's turn it around and take a look at the back. On the back, it has all of the pavilions in gold with pass holder on it. And it is $55. And of course, with every festival, there's gonna be some mugs and some corksicles. So this year's mug is gold. I really like this one. I like that they did gold this year. And it is $19.99, and then says Season's Greetings on the back. We've also got a cookie jar for the cookie stroll. So it says Holiday Cookie Stroll 2023. And then on the other side it says Festival of the Holidays. Let's see if we can find a price tag on it. It is $40. And then very similar to all of our other festivals, there is a corksicle, and it's still continuing that gold with all of the pavilions on it. It is $50. Since it is December, we've reached the end of the Decades collection, which means we have our last set of ears. They decided to do Jessie from Toy Story because Toy Story started in 1999 but ran all the way into the 2010s. So of course it's got, you know, some classic Jessie hair. I actually really like that they did the bow that way because it reminds me so much of like the dolls I had as a kid, with her shirt. And then on the back, it has that classic cowboy print. Now this does not have a price tag on it, but currently ears are starting at right around $35. We have made it back to the World Showcase, which means we've made it back to Epcot's tree. Now we did take a look at this the other night, but it was in the dark. It's so worth coming to see these Christmas trees at night and in the daytime so that you can see all the little details like the ornaments that show off each country that is in the World Showcase. But since we are back here, it is time to choose Mexico or Canada and go try some food. Over here at Las Posadas, which I think I said that right, but this is the Mexico Holiday Kitchen. We are actually not gonna try food. We are going to try the apple margarita for $14. Now, before we try this apple margarita, we're gonna head into the Odyssey Pavilion because there's a bunch of sweet treats in here, but we are going to try our very first cookie on the cookie stroll. So here is our apple margarita from the Mexico Holiday Kitchen. It's melted a little bit because we came over here into the Odyssey Pavilion, so the whipped cream is starting to melt, but this looks delicious, so let's go ahead and try it. That is so good. It tastes like apple, and the mixture of the whipped cream adds like a different flavory taste to it. This is delicious. While we were in here in the Odyssey Pavilion, we did pick up our first cookie on the cookie stroll. Now this is the pinwheel cookie. All cookies on the cookie trail are $3, and we got our first stamp, so we got 4 more to go before we get our reward. Let's try this cookie. There's sprinkles around the outside of it, but I bet you it's gonna be pretty good. I usually like pinwheel cookies, so let's see. So I don't think the pinwheel cookie is the best cookie on the cookie trail. It was still really good. It's sweet and just a good cookie. I'm not the biggest fan when Disney puts a lot of sprinkles on food. I'm just like not a sprinkles fan. But overall, it's a pretty good cookie. I don't think if I was doing the cookie trail again, I would get it again. There's better ones on the trail that I would just rather repeat. But it's still pretty good, especially if you like a more basic or just plain sugar cookie. So I managed to finish both of those treats, and the apple margarita is definitely worth getting. It is delicious. You've got to get that. If you're gonna get any alcoholic beverages during this festival, this is one you've got to get. Now the cookie is definitely not super sweet, which is good for those who don't like really sugary or icing-y treats. If you don't like something like that, that cookie is going to be perfect. Now we're gonna head back into the World Showcase and continue to try some more food. Now here in the Odyssey Pavilion is also where you're going to be able to meet Santa Claus. Now Santa Claus does not meet all day. He starts at 11 o'clock and has meet and greet times till 6 p.m. All right, so here in the Germany Pavilion, we picked up the cheese fondue, and this is like a very large serving size, much bigger than what was at the Alps in Food and Wine, and then the cheese like bread that you get during Festival of the Arts over in France. This is a very large serving size, so let's go ahead and try it. So I've got a little bit of the bread and a little bit of the cheese. Let's go ahead and try it. So it's definitely very good. It's a very different cheese than the cheese that's at the Alps during Food and Wine, and it's also a different cheese than what's over in France for Festival of the Arts, but it's still very good, and I can't get over how large the serving size is. Like, this is massive. You can share this between 2 people very easily, and for $8, it's not bad at all. So next up, we've got one of the baby potatoes, and I've dipped it in some cheese. This is very similar to what you get from the Alps during Food and Wine. They also give you baby potatoes that you're like supposed to mix with the cheese and kind of make your own little meal. So I managed to actually finish everything. We ended up cutting the large piece of bread in half and eating it, and I really liked that, though I am only gonna give it a 4 out of 5 just because I think it needed more potatoes or like more vegetables that kind of fit the cheese better. And I think I said the same thing during the Alps actually, because you get some potatoes and very similar fruits and vegetables with that, and I just feel like you always need more potatoes.
And I look up at that star and I wonder. A few days later, a young shepherd comes running into my village, and he comes to me and he said, La Befana, why do you not go to the Bethlehem? Everyone is talking about the baby king, the king that was born in a poor stable. And Befana, La Befana, they are saying that he is the Son of God. Just then, the sky opens up, and it is filled with a bright light, so bright La Befana cannot even look. It's as if the sky had burst into glory. And the sound, oh, the sound of the angels, so beautiful. So many angels, like nothing I had ever heard before. You are probably all thinking, La Befana, the story is so sad, huh? No, not family, huh? The grandmothers, the grandfathers, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, and we cook, and we eat, mangia, and we laugh. We tell stories around the table. The bambini, they play with the gifts that I bring them, and we sing and we dance. It's molto bello. I may not have found the Christ child, but in giving the gifts, I have found joy.
Our next stop is going to be here at the American Holiday Table, because we are going to be trying the gingerbread cookie as our next cookie on the cookie stroll. So we got our gingerbread cookie here at the America Pavilion. So this is cookie number 2 of the cookie stroll. We got 3 more to go before we can get our reward. Let's go ahead and try this. I'm curious to see what this is gonna taste like in comparison to the Mickey one we had over in Hollywood Studios on Thanksgiving. So we've got our bite here, and this is really soft gingerbread. It reminds me a lot of the one we had over in Hollywood Studios, which is probably like the best gingerbread I've ever had. So fingers crossed this is just as good. So that was a very good cookie. It reminded me so much of the one I had over in Hollywood Studios on Thanksgiving. It was soft and chewy. Now, I do think it was a little spicier. Like, you could taste the cinnamon and like that gingerbread flavor just a little bit more, but worth getting on the cookie straw. So we've made it over to our next holiday kitchen. This is the Jewish holiday kitchen. We're actually gonna be trying the black and white cookie. I'm a huge fan of black and white cookies, so I'm excited to try Disney's. So we got our black and white cookie, which means we have 3 stamps on the cookie stroll. Only 2 more to go before we get our special treat. So here we've got our black and white cookie. I love black and white cookies, so I am very excited to try Disney's version of it. Let's go ahead and try this. So we've got a little bit of that black and white cookie. It feels like a lot of the black and white cookies that I've had, so hopefully this is good. So here in the France Pavilion, we picked up this frozen hot chocolate martini. They have a different version of this every festival, and they are one of my favorite alcoholic drinks in any of the festivals, so let's go ahead and give this a try. So I definitely liked both of those treats. They were probably some of my favorite of the day. So far, that black and white cookie was my favorite, but I am a huge fan of black and white cookies. It was fresh and it was like dense. It was very, very, very good. And if you're a fan of Grey Goose vodka or hot chocolate, that frozen hot chocolate is delicious. I have tried, I think now, all of those frozen drinks that are here at the France Pavilion during the festivals. There's a different one each festival. And this one is probably one of my favorites. I don't know though, I really like the Festival of the Arts one, but this one's probably a very close second. Both of those things are worth trying. They were 5s out of 5 for me. As we're walking out of France, we do have a great view of the new Luminous Symphony of Us barges. Now, we used to have barges for the Harmonia show, but they took those out and have installed these. These ones I actually like a lot more. They don't obstruct the view as much, and they're kind of just there in the center. You can still see all the way around World Showcase, but we're still gonna have something there in the middle. I'm very curious tonight to see what those barges are gonna do. Our next stop is going to be here in World Discovery to get the spiced chocolate cookie. Next up, we have this spiced chocolate cookie. This one's new, I believe, this year, so let's go ahead and try it. All right, I've pulled some off. Let's grab a bite. So I was able to finish that, and I think I actually liked that more than the black and white cookie. It reminds me a lot of like the little Debbie cookies that you get at the grocery store. Now, it isn't overly spicy just because it's called a spiced chocolate cake. It's not really spicy at all. Like, you can kind of taste a little something in the chocolate, but as far as actually spicy, it is not spicy. It's very, very good though. It was fresh, it was moist, it like pulled apart very nicely. And I didn't think anything was gonna top the black and white cookie, but that was very good.
To the great gathering. Welcome. Bienvenue. Okay. Marhaba. Yokoso. Welcome. Benvenuti. Willkommen. Karibu.欢迎. Willkommen. Bienvenidos. Everyone on this earth is part of the great symphony of us. Each of us a unique instrument, playing harmony to one another. And even though we are all playing different parts, it's our unified heartbeat that connects us, reminding us that we are more alike than we are different. A rhapsody of rhythms that unites us and connects us through commonalities of the heart. Find your place in the great symphony of us.
Can you hear the sound of a world in motion? Wind through the trees, sighs of the ocean. Can you feel the beat of a million hearts all the time? Like the sun, the moon, and I. And the tiny moment
When we are born, we come into this world a raw noise. Cradled in tenderness, we tune ourselves to the world around us.
I'm stop you crying, it'll be alright. Just take my hand, hold it tight. 可以呼唤我的你的身边 You'll be in my thoughts. You seem so strong. This one between us and I can't take broken. We'll be here, don't you lie. It's in my
We begin to understand what our instrument can do. We find our voice and add it to the ensemble of our ancestors, our family, nuestra familia. We begin to recognize the music in others, trading notes and improvising. Music becomes play. Sometimes we find another, and our melodies blend. And suddenly, with the hum of our heartstrings, our world becomes a duet.
You're in my arms, all the world is calm. Only two, so close to me, and with you, so close to feeling close, and still so far.
Inevitably in life, the accompaniment drops out, and we experience great loss. We find that the melodies we cherish are gone, and for a moment, we are playing alone.
When somebody loved me, everything was beautiful. When she loved me, when somebody loved me, arms held together, lives within my heart. The sun just she and I together, like it was meant to be. When she loved me.
But we are never truly alone. Sing out so others can hear you. The music we make echoes back at us in concert. In symphony. Sounds each other.
Everything is different now that I found you.
of us.
So it's been a few moments since I spoke to you guys last. It got a little bit crazy because we were trying to like line up with everybody else to see the Luminous Symphony of Us, which you guys just saw. But we ended up finishing the cookie stroll. We ended up getting the Snickerdoodle cookie with real Snickers bars on it from the kitchen over in Canada. It's really good, though I don't think it was my favorite. The favorite was probably that spiced chocolate cake cookie that we got earlier in the vlog. It was honestly my favorite. Now, after that, we had finished all 5 cookies that we needed to finish the cookie stroll, so I went and got the reward. Now, they were out of the normal reward. Your normal reward is going to be this Wish sugar cookie that looks like the star from the new Wish movie. They were out of that, so they were giving out the Spaceship Earth sugar cookie that you can get over in the Odyssey Pavilion. And I actually really liked that. I wanted to try it earlier in the day, but there was just too many foods to try. So I really like that we actually ended up, you know, a happy little accident and we were able to get that because it was really good. Still though, my favorite was that spiced chocolate cookie. That was delicious. You've got to get that. Now with the cookie, they also gave us like this frozen hot chocolate thing with whipped cream on the top, which was kind of hard to eat tonight because it is cold. It is very cold tonight. It is like around 50 degrees, which 50 degrees in Florida feels way different than you think. I say it all the time, pay attention to the weather because like I could have gloves on right now. It is so cold. So that was a little hard to eat, but very good and an awesome like fact that you get not 1 but 2 rewards for finishing the cookie stroll. You get that frozen hot chocolate and you are getting a cookie as well, so you can't beat that. Pretty much just as we finished that, it was time for the new fireworks show, which was Luminous, the Symphony of Us. It reminded me a lot of Harmonious. I was a big, huge fan of Harmonious. I was really sad when they announced that it was leaving. So if you are also a fan of Harmonious, you're probably gonna like this show. It has very similar songs and very similar kind of like atmosphere to it. The nice thing is they moved all the fireworks to the inside of the lagoon, so it doesn't matter where you're standing, you're gonna get that 360 view. The only thing that it didn't have was big fireworks outside of the World Showcase, and I kind of miss those. Those were been in most of the shows in Epcot, and I didn't notice any of those. I'll have to be on the lookout again when I watch it again. But overall, I think it was a very good show, and it's kind of nice that we didn't have the big, huge Harmonious barges, you know, obstructing the view in the lagoon, even though I did like Harmonious just maybe a little bit more. I feel like I need to watch this new show one more time to really get a true feeling on if I like Harmonious or it better. But overall, it's been a great day here in Epcot. It's officially park closed and I am freezing. It is so cold down here, as you can probably tell. I think my nose is like a little bit red and my fingers are freezing, and I am like kind of dressed for winter and it is still so cold down here. If you guys are coming this winter, please pack winter clothes. I tell this to everyone I know that's coming down here in the winter time. It is so much colder in Florida in the winter than most people think it's going to be, and it's because of the humidity and how damp the air is. It makes it 1,000 times colder than you think it's going to be. But if you enjoyed this video and want to see other ones like it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you are notified every time I post a new video. If you liked the video, hit that like button and I will see you guys next time.